morning. It is a great pleasure and honor to welcome you to this large event on behalf of the International Authority for Development, IGAD. As you are aware, the genesis of IGAD with the double D on drought and development in the mid-1980s was to mitigate the effect of the current severe drought and other natural disasters like the locust that resulted in widespread famine, ecological degradation, and economic hardship in the region. After a journey of decade, decisions was made by the head of member states to revitalize its role to address the new emerging political and socio-economic challenges by expanding area of cooperations among member states. Ladies and gentlemen, the IGAD region stretches over an area of 5.2 million kilometers square that comprises the country of Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Uganda. About 70% of the IGAD region is made up of arid and semi-arid lands, which receive less than 600 millimeters of rainfall annually. The IGAD region has a population of over 230 million people, characterized by high natural population growth rates. Currently, IGAD is guided by a strategic framework that runs from 2021 to 2025.
On behalf of the African Union Commission, I would like to congratulate both the World Bank and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development in East Africa, IGAD, for today's program launch of IGAD's component of the World Bank Food System Resilient Program for Eastern and the Southern African Phase 1. Excellencies, you may recall that in 2019, the African Food Security Leadership Dialogue, just like the one that was held in Zambia last year, was convened in Kigali, bringing together African leaders and development partners and raising the ambition for joint action to solve the region's food security challenges. Key priorities identified by the IFSLD includes food system adaptation to climate change. And we know that in Africa, when we talk about the impact of climate change, it is really adaptation, a priority for us. So I think this program is really timely for us to address the problem of food insecurity on our continent. Leveraging science and digital technology and strengthening collaboration among development partners. It also emphasizes the need to implement existing agriculture and food security commitments, including the African Union Agenda 2063 and the Malabo Declaration. The Malabo Declaration is going to expire next year. We have started at the African Union, we have embarked on the post-Malabo because we want a bold program. And we know what is happening mostly here in the eastern region on the Horn of Africa, the issue of acute hunger. So that's why the post-Malabo Declaration will be really a call for us this year because we need to present a concrete, bold 10-year decennial action plan. So I call upon all the member states of African Union, all our Pan-African institutions to come across with us. We have already started because we had a meeting with all the RECs to present our roadmap and also the plan for building a bold and inclusive food system, post-Malabo 10 years action plan.
In very looking at 20 years of pandemic, as well as the statistics. I mean, CADEM has really tried. I mean, they are failures. They are not according to the statistics of grant. But if you look at the performance of agriculture, at least globally, in the past 10 years, Africa is right up there. It's a pity that we are confronted with all sorts of constraints. The Russia-Ukraine war, COVID, we have not very little about, climate change, which Africa is not responsible for. These are all major things that is retarding the progress we have made. And part of these successes could be attributed to the CADEM framework, especially the mutual accountability framework, the biannual review process. We have to produce results every 2 years for head of states to directly see how they are progressing. Looking at the last biannual review report, that will be tabled by head of states next month at the summit. We are not really encouraged that no country is on track to meet the 2025 target of eliminating poverty. But looking at the results critically, as many of as 26 countries have made progress, there are many things embedded, PLM, I mean countries learning from themselves and others. Like as I was already telling the World Bank, we need not reinvent the wheel. I mean, we have to look at not too many so that we don't compound the process. Let us look at some concrete FRSP indicators that we will incorporate in that accountability framework so that we can use it to confront head of this. They see how our challenges are moving as we move forward. Thank you.
This project will not be business as usual because we have learned that we need to approach it in a multi-institutional level, and also the number of years. If you see in this project, you cannot bring impact in a 3-year food system project. The lesson that we learn, you need between 10 and 15 years extensively working on that. And this, one of the issues is it includes also the emerging issue. Especially we are going to focus on climate smart agriculture, where we didn't give much attention previously. That will help us to cope with the changing climate. And also, Center of Excellence for Leading, I was discussing with my colleague, if we need to really focus on technology transfer, not within the country, just between member states. For example, World Bank established Center of Excellence for cassava in Uganda, wheat in Ethiopia, dairy in Kenya. But how about the technology generated in Ethiopia, the wheat variety, is transferring to other countries because it has to do with patents, it has to do with several issues. So now we are looking at, in this project, regional dimension, where technologies available in the region will be documented. And as a regional organization, we are going to develop a protocol of technology and information sharing where this thing will not remain in one country. So we are going to use economics of scale. We should not do the same thing what we did. We have identified low-hanging fruits that can do immediate impact.
The call from the Commissioner for bold action, I think she was asking IGAD to be very clear and very ambitious in what they're going to do. And the other point I think is that talking is good, but action and results, that is where we need to be, because time is running out and the scale of the challenges we're facing. So I think the two challenges for IGAD are to identify the things which are going to be significant and change, and then having very clear, well-run processes to deliver that change. That'll be the challenge going forward. But yeah.
I don't know where financial services fit in. Financial services, I don't know whether it's captured under production, I don't know whether it's captured, because for us that is actually key. Because money is key in managing food systems, and especially the cost of money, and also management of risks. I don't know where we capture it in these pillars. I don't know, maybe, as you said, the details will be there, but I don't know.
But we are in charge of 9 Eastern African countries and the Horn. Thank you very much, Dr. Moi, for the elaborate presentation. My question is, on a pillar, I think this first pillar, when you talk about supporting regional organizations to build food system resilience in a transboundary manner, especially for IGAD institutions, we realize that, for example, migratory pests are a menace in the region, and you cannot build these resilient food systems without addressing that fact. So I'm wondering how DERCO can be part and parcel of this discussion, especially building its strength and capacity for preparedness, for surveillance and control of these migratory pests in the region within the 9 Eastern African and the Horn of Africa countries.